Hello again, Guardians. It's Cortanium, and today we are getting out of, well, Nessus and the Leviathan. We're getting out of every single area on the Leviathan raid, and so that includes the Pleasure Gardens, that includes the Bathhouse, that includes the Gauntlet, that includes the Calus throne room. It pretty much is everything. There's 2 out of map spots I'm showing you, Guardians, and I'm sorry for this being such a long video, but we are literally getting out of the entire Leviathan raid. Every single area, Guardians, and we're going to have a bunch of fun doing this. And so just start running up, and I have all the times posted on the screen if you just want to skip around. If you want to get outside a specific place that you want to do, Guardian, just follow those times and just jump to those points in my video, and you guys will have a splendid time getting out of the map. I'm just going to show you guys the first out of map glitch here. You guys have probably already seen this out of map glitch. If you watched any World's First videos regarding the Leviathan, you've seen this one used a lot because it's the out of map glitch that gets you super quick and super far inside of the underbelly. Probably the quickest way. Basically right up here underneath this little sand colored piece of thing, that's actually an out of map spot. We can actually get right behind that and just jump right out of map. And so hop on top of this little side here and hop on top of these little donut shaped things covering Calus, and just keep hopping up them, Guardian, and just hop up. And on the third one up, you want to head inside a little bit, and we want to just jump against this wall and jump up into that little area. I'm not really sure what a cubby hole or whatever this is. And there it is, Guardian, and we are out of map. This is the first out of map spot, and this out of map spot actually takes us to the Calus throne room, and we can get behind the Calus throne. We can get inside of the little weird cage behind his throne room, and so this is very cool stuff. Anyway, Guardians, you guys can look around, and you can actually go in any of these holes. These are all open load zones. And so you guys can just look around. This is the entire underbelly. If you're unfamiliar with what this is, maybe it's your first time with the Leviathan, maybe getting out of map on the Leviathan. We're just standing on top of the entire underbelly right now. And so you guys, you see all these open holes and stuff, we can always just jump in and go inside of any of these places. You guys can jump around and try to find any place you actually want to go inside of. Maybe you have a specific point in mind. Maybe you want to get somewhere, and you just want to do it from out of map because it's easier, and it is so much easier. You don't have to deal with any load zones. You don't have to deal with any levers at all, Guardians. You guys can just jump inside the map and be well on your way to getting whatever key you want, whatever chest you want. And so from here, Guardians, we are just going to get ourselves to the Calus throne room. And so to actually get to the Calus throne room, we actually just need to hop inside or do our front here. You see this little area right here? That actually is the next area we're going to. This is how we're going to actually get inside the Calus throne room. And so take out your sword or whatever, and we're going to hop to our left here onto the side of this building here, and this is where we hit the load zone. And I'm going to speed up the video as we run all the way towards the Calus throne room, since it is kind of a hard parkour. Now if you notice, Guardians, there is a lot of stuff, but unfortunately you can't find a load zone for a lot of this stuff. You just will not be able to find the load zone. But some of the stuff, the load zones are just easily found. Like right here, you guys can just run up this pathway and hit the load zone super easily for this one. And we guys can look around. We can see everything off in the distance, and this entire area is we're actually part of the Calus load zone right now. Right below us, actually at the very bottom of the map, is the Calus void room, and right in front of us is the Calus throne room. And so from here, I'm going to speed up the video, Guardian, as we actually make it all the way to the Calus throne room. And now if you notice, there's a lot of barrier around us, and so it's actually kind of a challenge making it to the Calus throne room. But don't worry, Guardians, we're easily going to make it there. I'll run back here and I'll just start to speed up the video so you guys can see everything you need to do in regards of all this barrier around us to actually make it over to the Calus throne room, and we can start jumping up and getting all the way there. And so I'm going to speed up the video at least 3 times the speed here, Guardians. We are just going to be jumping around and jumping forward and just jumping along this vent here. And now if you notice, there's actually a bunch of barrier all around us. This actually is just barrier surrounding each and every single load zone or each and every single underbelly part here. There's just so much barrier around, so we actually just need to follow the underbelly pathways, follow the normal pathways intended to actually just use this barrier to our advantage and just continue along the inside of the barrier. And now from here, we're actually on top of the ventilation shafts. We can go on top of it, but make sure not to go on the side, Guardians, because the windmills inside of the ventilation shafts, the big fans, will still push you back if you go on the side. And so just continue along the top until you get right under this little elevator thing up here. This is actually the ventilation shaft that pushes you upward with a fan inside, if you remember what the inside of this looks like. But from the outside, it's kind of a parkour challenge for us because we're going to have to hop up this with, you know, almost no help. And so what we're going to do actually, Guardian, is we're going to come right here and we're going to hop on these door things right to the left and right of the door. There should be little hinges actually that we can use to get ourselves up. Now you guys can do this from any side you want. I prefer to do it from, you know, the left or the right side. And here it is. You guys can also do it on the back side. The back side is also just the same. I just used my super there because I don't think I was going to make it. But you guys just put on a lot of mobility and you should be able to make all of these jumps. And so just keep hopping on the sides of these doors. Like right here, actually this little extension actually extends out a little bit more, and so we can walk along it a little bit more and get ourselves further on top of whatever the heck this elevator is. And from here, Guardians, actually, you see that little red thing, that's an area to our right, but if we hop over to our left there, this is actually, we're well on our way to the throne room. It takes a lot of parkour, that's why I wanted to slow it down and speed it up, or the parts where there's no parkour and the parts where there is parkour, because you guys probably need all the help you can get with all this parkour stuff. And so from here we can just hop along the right side and continue running up all this grape jelly or whatever grape this is. And look, you guys can actually just hop outside and just stare in at your friends at just random points of the map. Like there's a ventilator shaft right here. We can hop over here and just stare in, even though I don't think your friends can see you from here, but they will be able to see you if we do the same thing and we inside of Calus's throne room. And so let me hop back there and we'll show you guys how to actually do that in Calus's throne room. And so just hop back to this grape jelly, or I'm not really sure what this is. I believe it is crystallized grapes, because you know we've seen all the grapes throughout the raid, and so I think this is just a shiny crystal version of the grapes that Calus and his, you know, his ball soldiers eat all the time. And so on the left side of this throne room here, Guardian, we're just going to keep running alongside, and we're going to try to keep ourselves as high as possible, because the area we're trying to get to is kind of, you know, in the upper regions. And watch out, there is barrier along this entire, you know, area, and so watch out for barrier. You might encounter some of it. Just jump around it as I do, and we're almost there, Guardian. We're almost to the top of that. And so just jump along this little purple stuff, and we're gonna jump on top of this crystal stuff. And now look at here, we're actually underneath all the crystal stuff, and we're actually at the first part of this little cage, but we want to get on top. We want our friends to see us. We want to be able to dance inside of that weird triangle cage up there. And so just jump up, and hopefully your character will grapple on this weird grape stuff. And we are inside of the cage, Guardians. This is where one of the 4 thumbnail slots came from us being inside of this weird little cage thing, and your friends can see you. You can dance for your friends and everything. Hell, Calus can even see you from inside of this throne room. This is very cool. I mean, basically no other people can get up here. It starts the raid fight as soon as you even try to get up here, and it tells you to turn back. But guess what, Guardians? We're on top of it and everything. Your friends can completely see you from inside of there, even though you can't shoot, you can't even help out your friends at all. There's just a solid barrier. You can't shoot at enemies or anything, but hey, at least they see you. It's very cool stuff to do. You can show off to your friends, and maybe you guys can even show them this glitch yourself. I mean, a glitch is always fun, but it's more fun to do with friends, and so make sure to show off these glitches to your friends if you ever want to do them with them. And so if you actually hop down here right behind us, we actually have the final room of the raid. And I know it's kind of weird, I'm not going in chronological order at all, but that final room of the raid, it just has a barrier and everything around it, and I don't really think it's worth it. Just check it out. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to move on to the second glitch, Guardians. This is the second out of map spot there is. It's in the Castellum, Guardians, and so just keep running forward until we get into the Castellum, and you guys are going to see how easy both these Leviathan glitches are. It doesn't require any barrier breaking. We're just literally just hopping out of the map. Very simple, very easy jumps. And so from the Castellum, we're actually just going to hop forward and stick to the left side here, and you guys are going to see how easy this glitch actually is. And we're going to get outside of the Pleasure Gardens, we're going to get outside of the Gauntlet, and we're going to get outside of the Royal Bathhouse. And so make sure not to kill any Cabal Legions, because if you do, it's going to tell you to turn back whenever you go outside of this Castellum region. And so try to stick away from killing them, because once you kill them, the Castellum actually starts, and it takes everyone from outside of the Castellum into it. And so right here on top is where we actually want to be. Let me show you guys that again in case you weren't paying attention, but we're basically just going to hop on top of this square thing and then hop up here, and we're out of the map, Guardian. So all we got to do is hop through that hole, and you guys are outside of the map. Now over there it actually is a Calus throne room, but we don't even need to go and try to hit that load zone since we've already covered it with our original glitch. And so we're just going to go and hop over towards this bathhouse area. This is the doors and stuff that leads to the bathhouse, and what we're gonna use to actually get into the pleasure guardian. What we're gonna use to get into the pleasure guardian. And so just hop up here, and this is the cool stuff. I mean, for me, I mean, glitching and everything is fine and getting outside of all these areas, but just look at how much detail, or I guess not how much detail, but just how cool it is just to be outside of the map and still run into solid water for some reason, and just all the background elements Destiny has put in, including stuff like the sky up here, very detailed, and that tower, which we never even get to the top of. But I mean, I've never noticed that before until I went out of the map, and I'm like, has that tower always been there? You just start to notice more things when you're outside of the map, and it's kind of strange. And so just keep along the right side here, Guardians. You took it right back there, and this is actually the bathhouse we're running up on now. And so this is the Leviathan. It doesn't actually say the names of the load zones, but you know, when you pull out your ghosts and stuff, it says the Royal Bathhouse and stuff. And we have cool, you know, coils outside of the map. We have just a bunch of columns and stuff. Respawning restricted. That's how you know I'm actually in the right destination, because whenever I'm doing this, the rotation for the week is actually bathhouses and then something else and something else. And so the game decided it wanted to start me up. There's really nothing on the left side here for us to grapple onto. There's actually a whole underbelly part on the right side, and so that's really cool. But on this left side here, this is one of the reasons I love to go out of map, just this random stuff Bungie puts outside. This is an altar. It looks like a sacrificing altar to me, honestly. 2 columns and then 1 stone slab just standing there. I mean, this is very cool. I don't know why Bungie has it out there. I can't jump out to it since there's a lot of barrier, but I mean, this is not in the map at all. I went in the bathhouse and I searched around and I could not find that sacrificial altar at all inside. And so this stuff is very cool. I mean, you guys can just check all this weird cool stuff Bungie just happens to leave outside of their game that they never even use for anything, and I don't even know what they intended to do with the kind of thing that looks like a sacrificing altar at all. Anyway, Guardians, if you guys want to get into the pleasure gardens, what you want to do is just head back towards the bathhouse and make sure to hop down on this bottom side here so we avoid hitting the load zone for the Castellum again, and just run along the middle. And we're just going to hop along this left side here, Guardians, and we're going to make it into the pleasure gardens. Now, this is the only way I could figure out how to get into the pleasure gardens, because whenever I tried it through the Castellum and otherwise, we could actually not get in. It was so weird. There was no load zones that you could hit from outside, but for some reason, Guardians, this load zone works, and so we're using this one. And so just hop forward along this little pathway, and well, here, I'm going to try to get up to a high place so you guys can see where we are. And so let's just hop backwards a little bit, and so you guys can just see just how big this place. Okay, there's a height barrier. Maybe we won't do that. But just see how weird this place looks from the outside. Look at this, Guardians. Just a weird little golden cover on that on that garden inside. It's just one of the strangest looking load zones I've ever seen. And what we can do is we can actually hop towards it and look around. I mean, you guys just, this place is just looking pretty weird. You can see the door to the Castellum over there. I've tried hitting that load zone many times, but it just does not seem to work. And so we had to use the bathhouse, and we can actually hop on top and kind of inside. This is kind of strange. They didn't actually align their collision barriers at all with how the inside of their place works, and so we can actually just shoot through everything. There's the golden thing is the actual thing that actually reflects our bullets, but since we're standing on top of an invisible barrier right now, Guardians, we can shoot down, and this could possibly even be a strat for killing dogs. I have no idea. Maybe you have 3 guys stand outside of the map just doing completely nothing and just serve as killing dogs things, because you can literally see every dog from up here and just have a sniper out or 1,000 voices and just kind of snipe them. And so this could be a strat. I don't know, Guardians. This is very cool to be shooting enemies from up on top of the map, though. I can say it's one of the more coolest things we've done in the Leviathan raid. I didn't expect to be able to do this, but seeing how Bungie just somehow messed up on their collision and their, you know, bullet keeping stuff. Oh, we can just do and hop out of there, and well, we can look into it from the outside. It looks pretty whack, though. They have a bunch of smoke effects that just don't seem to transfer to the outside, and we can just be on top of the entire underbelly. You guys can just have a lot of fun with this glitch, honestly. There's a lot of stuff outside of the map that you can just be like, whoa, what is all this stuff? What is all this trash on the floor? What is this stuff floating in the air? I mean, there's just a bunch of stuff that you guys can explore in load zones you can try to hit, and stuff you can find out on your own other than what I'm showing you, Guardian. And you know, look, there's just some weird, just, I don't know, unexplodable crates just sitting outside of map. We can just hop back towards the mainland. I mean, you guys can look around at literally everywhere here. This is very cool. We have the actual Castellum below us, and then there's the where is it? I can't. The underbelly. I'm sure there's a door for the underbelly over here. So oh wait, there it is. It's right below us. So, and then we have the Castellum here. But be wary, Guardians, if you do decide to try to hop back into Castellum and the area you're inside of, or the area you're outside of, is not the original area for the raid, then the game is actually going to trap you between the two doors because you're not supposed to be there, and the game's not even going to try to open the door for you if you get back into the Castellum inside of the passageways leading to one of these areas. And so, Guardians, we are back at the bathhouses, but this time we're just going to load back into the normal Leviathan. And we are going to head backwards again. And this time we are getting outside of our final destination. We've gotten outside of the Pleasure Gardens. We've gotten outside of the bathhouses. But what about the Gauntlet, Guardians? And so let's head to the Gauntlet right now. We're just going to head along this weird pathway outside. And this actually is the pathway from the original spawning load zone over there to the Castellum. And so just hop down, Guardians, and we are going to make our way towards that Gauntlet. And so right below us right now, actually, Guardians, here, let me just turn my screen a little bit. Actually, right behind us is the Pleasure Gardens load zone, I believe. Right down there, actually. This is where the Pleasure Gardens is. This is where I could not find a load zone to load into the Pleasure Gardens at all. And so right down here, Guardians, you guys can head down here. Just make sure not to jump. There is a big death barrier above us, but there is no load zone down there. The only thing you can do is walk inside, and of course, if it's not the proper week for the Pleasure Gardens being the first encounter, it's going to trap you inside of that doorway, and so I really do not suggest you guys go and do that unless you like being trapped in between two doors. I don't know. It's whatever is up to you guys. Anyway, from here, Guardians, we're just on top, and we can get ourselves over to the Castellum area, which is very cool. And I'm not going to try making that jump. I know a bunch of you are not going to make that jump, and so I'll just show you how to do it from the bottom. You just hop along the right side here, and we can just hop all the way around into eventually the Gauntlet load zone. The Gauntlet load zone is actually this thing right here, this little underbelly protection, and we are actually hitting the Gauntlet load zone, and we are inside of the Gauntlet. Now, don't head back too far away because you will actually hit the load zone for another place for the Castellum again, and so make sure not to head back too far if you do decide to head back. But look at this, Guardians, we are inside the Gauntlet. We have that weird little elevator shaft at the very bottom. You see how the pistons move. I kind of just want to see a fire team actually going up the elevator, or a bunch of stuff just happening during all of this. I feel like it would be very cool to see all this stuff happening even though we're outside of the map. Someone should start it up. And we see all this stuff, all this underbelly stuff just outside of the map. We see all these weird little tubes. I mean, that's very cool stuff. I remember those tubes because I've been scouting around the underbelly, but you Guardians may not. You may just be completely new to that. But if you do have a knowledge of the underbelly and you know how everything works, you know exactly what areas you're outside of, and it's very cool to walk around and be like, wait, I know the inside of this, now let's see the outside of this. And I just hit the load zone for some reason, Guardians. Let me head back and hit the load zone again. I accidentally. This is what I was warning you about. You guys can't head back too far, or it will hit the load zone for the Castellum again. But what's cool about the Gauntlet, Guardians, is not just that it's an entire circle area kind of raised in the air kind of suspiciously, but that thing right over there. This actually is one of these teleport beacons. Whenever you start the Gauntlet encounter, you have two players actually rush over these teleport beacons, and they get teleported inside of the map. And so there's also some other stuff hanging outside the map over there. But basically what I'm saying is, if one of us could actually get up to that teleport beacon, I think it'd be very interesting. I want to see if we can actually use that teleport beacon, see if it's active, and use it to hop inside the map, because that would be very, very, very cool stuff. We can hop on top of these pipes and actually get over on top of the side ridge of this Gauntlet place here, Guardians. And here, put your own guesses now. What shape do you think these orange boxes actually are? What shape do you think they are? Well, from out of map we can actually see these things are weird little hexagons for some reason. I guess Bungie just wanted a nice little kind of quadrilateral kind of shape. I don't know. Or not quadrilateral, but hexa something. I don't. Anyway, Guardians, we have made it outside of literally every single place on Destiny 2's Leviathan raid. We have literally made it out of the Pleasure Gardens, out of Calus's throne room, out of the bathhouses, and out of the Gauntlet, Guardians. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and go glitching, go have fun with this, Guardians, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.